Hello everyone and welcome to a new IBMI RPG sample video. Surely in your programs you usually use data structures and increasingly qualified data structures. Sometimes we want to copy field information from one structure to another, but both structures are not the same. Today we are going to talk about EVAL CORR, which is a very interesting opcode to be able to copy information from one data structure to another in a very simple way and taking into account the name and type of the fields they contain. Let's go. Well, I have prepared two simple programs to show you how to work with EVAL CORR. Let's start with the first one. Let me open it. Okay. Well, this program, which as you see doesn't use the logic cycle since it has a main procedure defined. I have declared a file that I'm gonna work with and its data structure. You already know that if you want to use a file declared within a procedure, you must work with a data structure when performing read and write operations. Additionally, I have defined a qualified data structure using auto, where I will store the data read from the file. Notice that I have declared the structure fields with the same name that they are defined in the physical file. After that, I'm initializing the data structure and I read the file, and for every record read, I'm adding a new position into my structure, and as you see, I'm adding the information read into my structure this way. Okay, well, this is very simple. In my file there is more than those two fields defined into my structure. Okay, if we can see it if we select here SQL, select everything from games, we can see that we have a few more fields. Okay, and we are only using the ID and the name. Great. Well, with EVAL CORR we can replace these assignments, which could be two as in this case, but could be many more, with a single line of code, something like this. We can write here EVAL CORR, we can write structure seed, and this is equal to games ds. Okay, we can remove this because this is the same. This way we save ourselves from having to write all the assignments one by one, and we also avoid making mistakes. The target structure could even have fields that are not in the file. In those cases we can manually assign them to the value we want, no problem. Imagine that we have something like this, other thing, for example, and we can write here other thing to other thing. Okay, no problem. So as you see, EVAL CORR is very useful in these cases. Well, now imagine that we want to copy the information stored in my structure. I have filled it with all the information that we have in the file, and we want to copy that structure to another one in a quick and very fast way. Okay, how can we do it? Well, we can use EVAL CORR, of course, and you see it is very easy. Let me, for example, declare here another structure, other structure, with the same structure as the one before. Okay. Okay. Well, if we have these two structures with the same structure inside, we can do something like this. We can do EVAL CORR is equal to structure. So this way other structure will have all the information contained in structure. Okay, all the information of every record. Okay, so as you see, it is very simple, very easy to do, and you don't have to make a loop or something to load the structure, one structure into another. Okay. Well, of course, if we run the program, it will run. Okay. Let me see. Let's go to the green screen. Okay, let me stop the program here and let's run it. As you see, I'm here loading the structure with all the whole file. Okay, now we have in structure all the information read from the file. Okay, as you see, these two fields that were inside the file, I'm loading it with EVAL CORR, and all the thing that was not in the file, but yes, it is in the structure, I'm loading it using this line. Okay, so it works correctly, as you see. Okay, and after that, if I see other structure that is completely empty, we can do this, and then other structure will be loaded with the information that contains structure. Okay, it is very easy. Okay, cool. Now let me open the other example. Okay. Well, in this case, I have declared a display file and a file. This is a simple subfile program with all files declared inside the main procedure. Okay. Well, in this case, I can use EVAL CORR to copy the information that I read from the file into the subfile. Let's see the code. I'm here declaring the display file with the indicator structure, as you see here. Also, I'm declaring the file, as in the other example. And after that, I'm declaring the indicator structure for the subfile, and also these structures that I will need to copy information from one place to another. And well, I need those structures to work with the file and display file. Okay. Well, the program starts clearing the subfile. Okay, as you see here, and after that, I'm filling the subfile. As you see here, I'm using EVAL CORR. I'm using it to copy the information read from the game's file into the subfile. It is important that the field in the subfile have the same name as in the file, and also they must have compatible types. Okay, if we see, let me see the source of the subfile of the display file. Okay, if you see inside the subfile, I have the ID and the name as in the structure. Okay, well, the structure, the game's file has the same fields. Okay, well, after that, after filling this subfile, I'm here. I'm having a loop here that is showing the subfile. Okay. Well, let me run the program into the green screen so you will see how it works. Okay, let's stop the program at the beginning and let's call it. Well, the first thing I'm doing is clearing the subfile. Okay, I'm clearing it, just activating this indicator and writing the subfile. As you see, I'm using here the record name and also this the structure because I'm inside the main procedure. Okay, this is a a non-cycle program, and I have to use a data structure to work with the subfile as with the different files that I have. Okay, well, now I'm initializing the records of the subfile, and I'm now filling the subfile with data. Okay, I'm reading it. If I see games DS has the structure containing the information that I'm reading from the file with all the different fields. Okay, in the subfile I only have 2 fields. Okay, well, when using EVAL CORR, copying them, okay, as you see, I'm copying the ID and name fields from the games DS to the subfile DS. Okay, well, and well, I'm reading all the file and I'm writing it into the subfile, and after that I'm showing the information in the screen. Okay, and it will be running until I press F3. Okay, well, as you see, EVAL CORR is very interesting. It's a very interesting opcode, and it helps a lot when we need to copy information that we have in a structure. This operation is sometimes a bit tedious if there are many fields to copy, and if the structures, both source and target, also have all the fields that we don't need. I hope you liked the video and that it was useful to you. As always, remember to like and subscribe if you aren't already. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching.